Bu haftada çok sürpriz bir isimle sizlerin karşısındayız. Bu hafta 3 saniyenin konuğu Zalgiris Kaunas oyuncusu Thomas Walkup. Hello Thomas. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you for accepting our request for our TV show, because it's an honor for me to do with a player of Zalgiris, and especially with you, because I watched a lot of your interviews and you're so fun. Like, you're a funny guy. You're a funny basketball player. Like, you have the energy, and then you control the energy actually in your team. And so I'm happy to have you on the show. How are you? Where are you right now?
We were in Palanga for a little 5-day training camp, a little seaside city here in Lithuania. It's super beautiful right now, so we were happy to get out of Kaunas for a couple days and come enjoy some strictly basketball time out here.
So the show will be about you, but I want to start first with your journey in Zalgiris with Kaunas. How do you feel over there? How do you feel in a city of Kaunas?
I love it. It's weird. This is the first time I've came overseas, and when I dropped my stuff at home, I was like, man, it feels good to be home. It almost felt more comfortable coming back here, just because I spent so much time here. I love it here. The people are awesome. So I was really excited to get back this year.
The fans and all of that. Well, we'll talk about those topics afterwards, but I'm glad that you feel the thing that which you are happy over there. But so you are from Texas, and then the way that actually, let me ask you in this way: how did you start basketball? Your career, your journey.
Basketball just from such a young age has been my love. I grew up with 3 brothers, so it was just constant sports, constant action, constant competing. And so just from a super, super young age, it was just like we had a basketball in our hands. And I don't know, when I'm around something that much, I just fall in love with it.
And then after you went to college, and then you started actually your NCAA years on your college, Austin College, right? Austin State College.
Yes, Stephen F. Austin. Yes.
Yeah. And how were those years, especially NCAA years?
Yeah, amazing. I have so many good friends from that time. So many people that I am still super, super close to, that I look up to. A ton of amazing relationships and incredible memories. We won a lot of games during those times, and just a special, special place in my heart for Stephen F. Austin.
And what was your goal when you were playing in NCAA? Picking another job in your life, another road to follow, or basketball or NBA?
No. Growing up, the only thing I wanted to do was play in the NCAA tournament. That was the only thing that I had aspired to do. My brother played a few years overseas, so when I saw him do that, I thought, oh, maybe I can do that for a couple of years. It would kind of be fun. But growing up, I just wanted to play in the NCAA tournament, work a regular job, when I'm done. And
that was the only goal?
Yeah, I just wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Wow.
And, as I got older, and then really, like I talked earlier, just fell in love with it. I, just continued to work at it, and things kind of fell into place for me. So,
well, yeah, we can say that because you have an amazing career. So the goal helped you, I guess. But when you were playing in NCAA, was it like the NBA was your first choice or first place to go in your head?
Sure. As growing up in the States, that's always, something that would be amazing. It'd be around family, you'd be around friends, obviously in my home country. So growing up, that was, I looked at NBA players like they were gods, they were just, almost not human to me. So that was definitely something that if it ever arose, I would love to do, for sure.
Yeah, but who were your idols? Well, 3. Let me ask you. 3 idols of yours.
3 idols?
NBA idols.
NBA players or just in general?
Well, let me ask you just in general then.
Just in general, my older brother. That was way easier, yeah, for sure.
I knew it, but you made it in a
brother,
good way.
Yeah, my older brother, he was really really good player, and I wanted to be just like him. Growing up, he was, he's 4 years older than me, so I would always want to be playing against him, and he was always annoyed by me, but I just wanted to do everything that he did. So that's definitely, one of my biggest idols, and still to this day, I always, ask him for advice, and really, both my older brothers and my dad, I've always looked up to. From a professional basketball standpoint, I don't know. Kobe, LeBron, guys that approach the game like that,
Michael Jordan.
are super special. Yeah, I mean, I was born in '92, so it was a little before my time, But growing up watching LeBron, he entered the league when I was 11, so kind of has watched him ever since, and just such a special talent.
I'm curious, like because you're American and you grew up there, you studied there, you lived there before the Germany journey. But were you watching any European basketball games?
No, not at all. I watched a couple of my brothers, but it's very different. It's not something that I grew up knowing anything about, and to be honest, when I got over here, I had so much to learn, and I was pretty naive to the entire thing, and learning over the last few years has actually been a ton of fun, especially that first year in Germany. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of the players, who was good, who wasn't, the leagues, anything. So it's been a lot of fun to learn and continue learning.
But what was your expectation before coming to Europe? Because you played in, let me do the short summary. You played in the Golden State Warriors and NBA Summer League, and then after you played for 4 preseason games in Chicago Bulls, and then after the NBA G League, well, D League, and and then after Germany, right? Like this,
Sure.
Okay, so I searched in a good way, and
good research. You did great.
Okay, thank you. So the Germany journey, before the Germany journey, what was the expectation from Europe?
I had known some American guys that had come over to play, and I had asked them, like, what's it like? I know you're a good player. How, what are your teammates like? What is the league like? And the people I had talked to had great things to say about it, and I had never been to Europe at all, so I didn't know anything about what I was getting myself into. And since I've been over here, I've just absolutely fallen in love with it. I fell in love with the basketball. I've fallen in love with the different cultures. Yeah. It's super neat to get outside of your comfort zone. And before I came over here, it's something that I never would have done, and now I've fallen in love with it.
I asked the same question to Kyle Hines. It was like 2 months ago. I asked him, what was the thing that shocked you like the most when you arrived to Europe? And then he said that, because he played in Italy, and then he said in the small villages in Italy, they wash the clothes by their hands with the soap, like on the street or like near lake, something like that. So what was your like shocking moment when you came to Europe? Germany, maybe Kaunas.
Yeah. I actually had a dryer. I'll keep it on the laundry subject, but I had a dryer.
Laundry subject, okay.
The water that fills up from the dryer, I had never seen before. So I just said, I guess my dryer is broken. And for the first 3 or 4 days before I asked it, I was embarrassed to ask a teammate and say, hey, I don't know how to work my dryer. Can you help me out? So I didn't, and I just hung my clothes up for the first couple of days, and then I got tired of that, and finally, admitted I can't use my dryer and asked for help.
Okay, that's a good shocking thing. All right, so the Germany. So you first overseas season in Germany. How was that year for you, for your career? Because you played in the Bundesliga German Basketball League. So how was it?
Mm-hmm. It was an amazing experience for me. I was super lucky. We had an American coach and quite a few American players, so I do think that made the transition easier. Mm-hmm. But as an American first year over here, it's important to make a good first impression. And I think my career would be vastly different now. This is my 5th year. If that first year in Europe, didn't go well. So I'm very, very fortunate to have had a coach like Coach John Patrick and the group of guys that we had there that really, as a European rookie, helped welcome me in and showed me the ropes a little bit. And luckily, I was fortunate to play well, and good things have happened ever since.
Yeah, and then after Zalgiris page.
Yes.
For Euroleague, for European basketball, Zalgiris is in somewhere very special, like very important,
Absolutely.
special because of the fans, because of the culture of basketball. Because one of your interview, you said basketball is the second religion over here in this country, which is very true, actually. How did you see when you first arrived to Kaunas in Lithuania? How was the picture?
It was incredible. You could tell that there was just a fun buzz around the city, especially as basketball season got closer and closer. You could feel the excitement building. People would come up to you in public all the time, or out to eat, or just walking in the park, and say, we're excited for basketball season, and you could just feel the excitement building, and then boom, that first game hits, and it's just it's an incredible experience.
Yeah. And the Zalgiris Arena, do I pronounce it in a good way? Zalgiris Arena, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, please tell me about the atmosphere over there, because me, as a Turkish person who is very interested in basketball, as you can see, like the Zalgiris Arena is on my top list, like where to go and watch the game or do the interview, whatever. Because from the TV, you can see that I think the most incredible arena in Europe, with 15,000 people, fans, everything, the atmosphere, especially during the playoffs. It's crazy atmosphere. But how do you explain it? Like, how do you describe the arena?
I don't know. I get goosebumps every time when they do the like the Viking clap. It's my favorite part. It's dead silent, and then it just erupts in noise. And I tell people all the time, if you're a real basketball fan, you'll go watch a game at Zalgiris Arena.
Right.
And it's so special. There's been times where I haven't been able to hear myself think. I haven't been able to hear myself when I yell, just because it's so rowdy, it's so loud, and it's not hostile. It's all supportive, and I think that's kind of what makes them special, especially when we have gone through, some bad spurts in my time here. It's been nothing but support, and I think that's really what makes them special.
And the fans?
Yeah, the fans. I mean, that's the support I'm talking about.
No, I mean the fans in general, not only in the arena. Like when you walk on the street, when they see you, when they want to talk to you. Because I watched also the Mike's episode with you, the Euroleague Rooks, right? Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and then they filmed you over there, and then when you walked, it was, I think, Independence Day, something like that in Kaunas. Yes. You were walking, or you were on this festival, I don't know, I don't remember. But the fans were coming up to you, and they're like, taking pictures, just looking at you in a very impressed way. So how do you describe them, the fans?
They're amazing. It's for sure something that I could take for granted and say, okay, this is, I don't like this, or don't like that, this is my free time. But that's not how I look at it at all, and I don't think any of the players here do. I think everybody realizes how special it is to have fans that are that amazing and that into basketball, and that do look at us like that they want to give everything that they have to us. So I'm super happy to be in a place that the fans are that supportive.
And the funniest memory with the fan that you had? I'm sure you had many. But the funniest.
A couple years ago, we went to it was our Green and White Boys is our one of our fan sections, and they're the crazy fans and the ones that are screaming and yelling and lighting flares. And we went to a karaoke bar with those guys. the whole coaches and players, everybody, and listen to them, play some music, and that was a lot of fun for sure.
And when you come to Istanbul to play against Fenerbahçe or Efes, how do you see the Turkish fans?
They're hostile. There's a lot of whistling. They're loud. It makes for an extremely fun environment. As a player, of course you want to be playing at home, and it makes it very fun. But even being on the road and playing in a hostile environment, that's just a lot of fun. That's why you play. And I really enjoy our games in Turkey.
In Turkey. And do you like Istanbul? Well, you've been only to Istanbul, right? In Turkey.
Yeah, but I've been quite a few times now, and big. It's huge. It's huge. Definitely a different world than Kaunas for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's more complicated here. It's more spicy. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it.
That's a great word, right? Here, Tel Aviv, it's more spicy, and also Greece. And in Zagreus Arena, in your locker room, I'm very curious about this because you guys don't step on the Zalgiris logo, right?
Correct.
Why?
That's a sin.
What's
out of a sign of respect for it. There's that badge means a lot, and to just go walking over it, would be disrespectful for sure.
Yeah, and how do you describe the chemistry of Zalgiris Kaunas'ın team?
Oh, amazing! That was one of the biggest reasons, I wanted to come back here. Very, very special group of guys, and I think the biggest part is the camaraderie between the Lithuanian guys and the American guys. It's not like, there's two separate groups on this team. We're all one, and I really commend the Lithuanian guys for including everybody and everything, and it really is one group, and I think that's a special special part of this club.
Do you miss your old ex-teammates, which are like Brandon Davis or the others? Well, I will ask you also the coach, but first let me ask you in this way. What teammates? Yeah. And,
I've had some unbelievable teammates, through my time here. And y'all just got one of them, Mr. Ivanovic. Yeah. And, so I've created unbelievable bonds with some of these guys, because you spend pretty much every day with them for 10 months, so
Definitely.
So a lot of time, a lot of strong friendships have been built.
Mm-hmm. And the topic of Saras Jasikevičius, how is he because during this period when the Euroleague got canceled, and then there was this COVID-19, so everyone was making news, and then they were talking also Saras Jasikevičius would be in Fenerbahçe next season after Željko Obradović, which did not happen, and then he went to coach Barcelona. But how is he as a coach?
Very professional, extremely smart. One of my favorite coaches I've played for. He's has you very, very prepared going into games. Everybody obviously talks about his system and everything. So nothing but great things to say about him, and I wish him all the best at Barcelona, of course.
But how is his system, basketball system? Would you tell us about a little bit of his system and his maybe?
It's just very. Yeah, it's very detailed. It's and I think that's why his teams get better and better. Over time, because you get better at the small things and the small details, and so for a team like we've had the last couple of years, we got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then continued to improving. Throughout the year, and that's the best way I would say it's all in the details for sure.
It's definitely like that, but as a player of Saras Jasikevičius and also as a player of Zalgiris Kaunas, I wanted to ask you, and because also last season, it was 2 seasons before, when you faced during the playoff season with Fenerbahçe, you guys were amazing. Well, Zalgiris was amazing, Fenerbahçe was amazing, but at the end of the day, Fenerbahçe went to Final Four. But what was the secret that was happening to you guys when you were winning? I mean, those games that you were winning, you were playing amazingly in Zalgiris Kaunas, the Zalgiris Arena. Like, how was that playoff for you? Because Turkish fans are very curious about that playoffs and a memory. Actually.
Yeah, the biggest thing about that was, I think the first game we got beat by 40 something, and we played really, really soft. And the game 2 when we won, we came out, like a pack of dogs. We were physical, we were tough. We weren't going to get pushed around, and that was really the key to the series. And when we did that, we played well, and we didn't. We lost. So it would have been better to put that together for a few games and be able to get to that Final Four, but we weren't able to do that.
But when you lost that playoffs, what was coach saying to you as to the team, to the players?
I think everybody was disappointed. I think the worst part was that we proved that we could beat them in game 2, and we just weren't able to execute enough. We weren't able to get it done. So knowing that we could do it and then still losing was tough.
Yeah. And actually, last thing about Saras, do you have any memory that you could share with us, a fun memory with Coach Saras Jasikevicius?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of fun memories. It's the winning things, winning championships, winning cups. He has a ton of rings in it. A specific one, I don't know. I would just stick with the winning. The winning is what makes it fun playing for Charis, and it's I learned a lot of things. Looking back over the last couple of years, looking at the things that I learned, is a ton of things. A ton of things about basketball, a ton of things about being a professional. So that's stuff that I'll use going forward for sure for the rest of my career.
And how do you see the Euroleague system as a Euroleague player?
I like it. I'm not really one to question how things are done. I know my job is to go out there and play basketball. And that's what we do. I like the system of home and aways and the playoffs. I think it works well for us, and I'm excited to get this thing kicked off and get underway.
Yeah, and you're a very powerful player in Euroleague, who's under the rim all the time, who's very fast, moving the ball all the time, helping with the assists, helping the teammates. And how do you describe your basketball style?
I'm definitely a game organizer. As a point guard, that's something I've really tried to hone in on and become better at over the last couple of years. So game organizer, play creator, shot maker. So just all around point guard. I try and be a bulldog on defense. A little bit of everything. Give some versatility to the team. Hard nose. So like I said, a little bit of everything.
And the top 5 players of Euroleague, of Thomas Walkups?
I'll say maybe the top 5 players I'm a fan of. How about that?
On where?
Top 5 players that I'm a fan of that I enjoy watching play.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I really like Nick Clakey's game. He's just a lot of fun to watch. Luke Sigma is a ton of fun. Very crafty. He also does a little bit of everything. Marius Grigonis, I love his game. He's super, super crafty when he gets into the lane and just change of speed and change of pace. He's fun to watch. Shved is he's fun to watch score. He can get a good shot at any point.
Very chilled and a good player.
What's up?
He's a very chilled, but at the same time very good player.
Yeah, very composed. Very composed. Mm-hmm. And Mike James, real like Mike James' game. Yeah. Obviously the way he can score it is super impressive.
Yeah. And do you follow NBA? Do you watch NBA games?
Yeah, of course.
Which team is your favorite team?
Or
maybe 3 favorite teams. Let me ask you in that way.
Yeah. I really enjoy watching the Rockets play just because they're so different. You know, how they play, they're small ball, shooting so many threes. And I think it's pretty impressive that they are able to win games basically without, you know, any extra possessions, no offensive rebounds. You know, they're not really turning, you know, teams over. So for them to be winning games with, you know, less possessions, just by shooting a lot of threes, you know, is very, very impressive
all
to
the
me.
time.
I think it's just, it's just fun to see something, you know, so different than what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. And but when you watch NBA as a player, as a basketball player, when you watch NBA and at the same time, when you watch the Euroleague, do you feel like, or do you think in your head that, oh, Euroleague should be like this, or NBA should be like this, you know, should pick some rules from Euroleague, or Euroleague should pick some rules from NBA? Like, do you think kind of those things as a player?
No, I really enjoy the difference of it. I love having two completely different games to watch, you know, just as a fan. You know, I love how hard-nosed European basketball is. And then I also love, you know, the NBA side of things of, you know, it's about making shots and it's about, you know, offensive talent way more, you know, than the European game is compared to, you know, moving the ball and working together, all five guys to get a great shot. I love the difference of it, actually.
And do you want to go back to NBA?
Yeah, of course. I think every basketball player.
I think every guy's right.
would love to play in the NBA. You know, so.
But you know what? No, some of the players, like some of them were my guests, and then I was asking them. I was asking, you know, like one day if you want to go to NBA or not. One was like, no, definitely not. Wasn't my goal at all. I don't want to go there. I don't like the system. I don't watch NBA. And he's one of a very powerful player, Turkish player in our league, in Turkish league. And then also he played also in Euroleague, Euro Cup. Maybe you know Göksel'in Köksal, the captain of Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was like, no. NBA never was my goal. Never dreamed of. I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
Some players, some players, they really don't want to go there. But since you played for 4 preseason games and also the Summer League, also the G League, I wanted to ask you that question. And when you played, the last question about NBA, when you played in Chicago for a short term, how was that? Was it 2 months? Or 3 months, something like that, right? The short term.
Yeah. 2
but
months,
how was it?
Yeah, something like that. I loved it. You know, I learned a lot. That was my first NBA experience, so learned a lot. But that was the Chicago Bulls team with Rondo and D Wade and Jimmy Butler all on it. So getting to be around those guys, especially Rondo, was incredible. I learned so much just in, you know, like we talked about, such as in a short period of time, just in how he sees the game, how he studies stuff before he gets there. You know, we were running through plays his very first practice, and he had already learned all the plays, and just because he had seen them on film, you know. So just stuff like that and how he approaches the game was very admirable.
Can you tell us to all the basketball fans, because now for them it's a very interesting topic. One day when you were playing in Chicago Bulls, one regular day, how was your one day?
Well, during training camp, I would show up about an hour before, you know, the first practice, and it would be all live stuff. So, you know, you get your ankles taped, and you play, you run through a couple plays, kind of sharpen up, go through a couple defensive drills, and then you play, and then you eat lunch up there at the facility after. You know, then you go home, nap. And you come back, you know, the second practice wasn't so difficult. It was more running through plays, a lot more chill, getting some shots up, you know, not playing live. And then you eat up there after, and you go home, you know, and it's, you know, during 2 days, and it's long days up at the gym. And, you know, combined, you know, when you're eating 3 meals up there, getting there an hour before, you know, you're, you know, up there for 8 hours a day, kind of, you know, so it's a busy day.
Do you think EuroLeague players have more social life than NBA players, or is it like kind of the same thing?
It depends, you know. For the American guys over here, you know, in Europe, it's we probably have less of a social life just because we're not around, you know, friends and family all the time.
Yeah.
and same thing for a European guy playing in the NBA. I'm sure they are, a little left out of the, social life scene just because their friends and family that they grew up with, aren't around, whatever. So I just think it depends on your situation. But like I said earlier, these guys, on my team are my social life. So when I am up at the gym, it's like I'm out there with my buddies.
Yeah, you're right. And so we have, as I told you before the show, we have some audience, basketball fans questions for you, and I picked 3 of them when I announced that you would be my guest on the show throughout the social media. So let's start with the first question. Hardest team you have faced in Europe, in Euroleague?
Probably Real Madrid, just because they can lure you into this scoring scoring cycle, and when you play a team that's that talented, they can score in bunches and they can outscore you, but you can't outscore them. So getting caught up in this game of it's a constant mental game of reminding yourself it's not about scoring, it's about defense. So I think that one mentally is the toughest one.
Second one, if I add a question, I'll add a question on the audience question. The second hardest team, no more, like just second, not the third.
Probably my first year over here, that Fenerbahce team. They were just hitting on all cylinders. Super talented, but also very hard nosed. They were very disciplined. You didn't get anything easy on on offense. But then on the other side of the court, it seemed like they were shooting open shots all night. So a very, very difficult team to play against.
Yeah. All right. Our second question: best defender in Euroleague.
Best defender in Euroleague. Jeffrey Taylor's a really good defender. I think him being able to guard basically the 1 through 4, really, puts him above, others. He has great size and physicality, but also can move his feet really well, has pretty good defensive instincts.
All right. Third question, suggestions for small guards, just like I am. Someone who...
Suggestions for small guards. The best suggestion I have is be able to get your defender off of you so you have some room to operate. If you're a small guard, you don't want to, be able to get pushed around by bigger, stronger guards. So create some distance in between you and the guard that you're playing against. Then you'll be able to get them into the screen and have some room to operate.
Wow, very good explanation and very good suggestion. Thank you so much. I would like to say thank you from our fan side. And last of all, how do you see after COVID-19 the situation of Euroleague? How do you imagine it?
It's funny. I've thought about that quite a few times, and I still don't have a good answer.
Me neither.
I don't know if. I don't think anybody does yet. I don't know if it'll be a bubble situation or how that would work. Obviously not everybody has private, charter flights. So I don't know if public travel, commercial travel is, the way to go, because, obviously, just the amount of run-ins you would have with COVID would be so much greater. But I don't know. It's the best answer.
No, because you know what? It's actually interesting to talk or discuss this topic with you because you are in Kaunas. You're in on top of Europe as a location. So we're in Turkey. There's Moscow. There's Tel Aviv. There's Spain, Greece. It's a huge continent actually. So players and the teams and the stuff, they have to travel. And it's not, I think, this is my personal opinion, NBA is only in one continent, and then it's only in one place, which is Orlando, and they don't have to travel. They have a big resort, which is for them, and it's going to be, like, it's easy for them to do it. But here, there are so many different countries, so many different teams. They're competing in Euroleague, so I'm really curious how it will be. That's why I wanted to ask you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and the domestic leagues, really throws a wrench into everything. With it's not like we can just up and leave and go play in a bubble for 6 months, while the domestic league is continuing. So there's just a lot of different moving parts going on, and I just hope we get to play.
Yeah, and charter flights are very important. I want to underline that throughout
absolutely.
This topic. And thank you so much, Thomas, for being with us on our show. Thank you.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Thank you. Seriously. Did you enjoy it? My one and only.
I loved it.
Okay, perfect.
I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Perfect. And when EuroLeague will be on, and when we can travel safely, I would like to do an interview in Zalgiris Arena with you, if it's okay for you.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Değerli Esport izleyenleri, haftaya yeni bir 3 saniyede yeni bir konukla, şahane konularla karşınızda olacağız. Bizden ayrılmayın, Esport'ta kalın.